Well, biodiversity, I mean, it's a word I often hear bandied about by Eurocrats, MEPs and lobbyists out here in Brussels. But I wonder if anybody in here can actually define what it really means. Because I bet my bottom dollar that none of you can. And oddly enough, I think it does matter that you understand what you're talking about if you're making laws for the whole of the EU. But what does the conveniently vague and ambiguous term biodiversity actually mean? Because the truth of the matter is that there is no correct number of species, whether it's on a Cumbrian farm or a Liverpool suburb, or even in a Cheshire forest. And I defy the Environment Committee to come up with a proper definition, or stop using such ragbag words. And where, I ask, is the boundary of the biodiverse area? Is it ever applied to offshore marine environments? And if so, why are you so keen to build monstrous wind farms that are detrimental to wildlife and don't even work? Let's be frank, you haven't got a clue. There is no clear thinking, no coherent policy and no logic to what you're proposing. And if you're going to preach, which is what you're doing, look in the mirror first, sort your own house out. Because let's start with the disaster which is the common fisheries policy.
Mr Nuttall, will you take a question from Mr Davies? Mr Davies. Microphone.
Sorry, beg your pardon. I wonder if the honourable member would agree that we are losing unique forms of life on this planet each and every day, and that there is a need for international action to try and counter that. I didn't hear anything in this remark that suggested that he did agree with that, but I invite him to explain his position to the House.
Mr Nuttall.
Let's put a few facts in order.
Mr
Let's
Nuttall,
take
perhaps you would stand up when you're speaking.
Well, if you want to take, for example, look, there are species which are disappearing, but there are a lot of dodgy statistics out there. Use, for example, polar bears. I mean, you constantly say that the polar bear population has fallen. The polar bear population is actually now bigger than it was in the 1940s. But Chris, yes, I do agree that species are disappearing, but I don't believe that the European Union, which is fundamentally undemocratic, the British people have never had a say on it, is the House where to decide this matter. It should be done in nation states.
We now